I think we're here. Maybe we're here.
Starting recording. Hey, Clay's recording the call.
There it goes. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a whole intro playing with Christmas music. It did not go before I played. But it just started back up. So maybe it did. Maybe this is what we needed. This is a perfect intro. Welcome to the show. It is finally here. Not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about the fantasy football playoffs. The one thing that matters, Joe, more than anything in the world.
Well,
And that was Joe Lozier. Joe, thank you for being here.
hey, thanks for having me. I'd like to really thank our unofficial sponsor, Fireball, because I need the kiss of the devil at this moment.
Well, that is a good call, Joe. We will shout out our official sponsor, Fireball. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or if you don't celebrate at all, happy whatever you believe. Joe. First time ever on YouTube doing a playoff show.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're in it.
Well, I mean, even if you're not, I totally understand where you're coming from. But we don't have biases when we do this show. We read it straightforward, and we come from the hearts here. The way, though, I think you share the same mentality as the number 5, 6, 7th, and 8 seeds because none of those waiver moved this week. Either the Tuna, the number 4 seed. There was 3 playoff teams that made moves, Joe, and there's some juicy moves.
What are they?
I'm going to your whole 2nd seed. I know I'm going out of order from what I sent you, but there's a reason for it. You're going to see what I'm doing here. Hillier Hole, the 3rd seed, had that backwards. He should have been the 2nd. He dropped Graham Gano, and he also dropped Tyler Higbee. It's about time on the Higbee. I think you would agree with that.
Sure.
Cool. Sure. Thank you.
I had my tight end let me down basically all year long. So you know what?
Here's the number 2 tight end, though, Joe. What do you want? Do you want the number 1 tight end? You could have sold the farm. Okay, moving on. Honestly, I would have considered Andrews. If you could have put him with like Mike Williams and DeAndre Swift, and you would have sent that for Kelsey, I would have pulled the trigger on that. My dumbass would have said that's too much value to turn down. So, more you know. Anyways, Andrew dropping Graham Gano, dropping Tyler Higbee. He went ahead and added Jerick McKinnon, who, Joe, has been on a tear the past 2 games.
Really? Yeah, so that's interesting.
2 30-point games, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least he's averaging in the 30s for 2 games.
He's really sucking any value out of Pacheco.
Ooh, that's music to my ears, Joe. And I need all the good news I can get this week because this week has not started out on a good note. Okay. He also added Evan Ingram. I like that pickup. The Jaguars and the Jets are playing right now, as you can hear from our live producing crew in the background, bringing you all the live updates, all the live intel. They're watching in-depth games to break any kind of news that happens during the show. So that is what you're hearing. We have that game tonight. I think Evan Ingram should have been on his team 5 weeks ago, Joe.
Sure. I mean, he only blew up 3 weeks ago, but why not?
Oh, I've liked Evan Ingram all year. If I wasn't set at tight end, Evan Ingram would be my guy. And also, if I didn't get lucky and pick up Dallas Goedert, I might have picked up Ingram that week.
You got Najee Harris for? That was great.
Which I have some intel knowledge. This is why I started with Andrew on this. He specifically picked up Jerick McKinnon to avoid Daniel getting him. Because Daniel's hurting for running backs. Do you know why Daniel's hurting for running backs? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the person he dropped this week was Rex the Sex Burkhead. Sexy Rex, he was still in the league.
Yeah.
In the year 2022, did you know Sexy Rexy was in the NFL?
Yes, I did. He played for the Houston Texans.
You might be the only man on earth that knew that. And Daniel saw that. I can only imagine Daniel might be pooping or something on his phone, just scrolling there, looking through potential running backs, all the way at the bottom of the list. I'm assured probably page 4 of running back. Rex Burkhead. I remember that name. Let's pick him up.
No, I understand his thought. Real quick. Dameon Pierce got the workhorse load, proving that the Texans offense can tailor an offense around a running back.
Dameon Pierce is talented. Rex Burkhead is not.
But do you see where the philosophy is? Is that the Texans prove that they could tailor an offense around a running back because they don't have a quarterback. They have 1.5 wide receivers. They don't have an offensive line good enough to block long enough to pass, so they run the ball. They do quick little passes to the running back. So who catches passes in the backfield?
Because they had a running back that could do those things.
And so he took a flyer on Rex Burkhead. Would I have started him? Absolutely not. Dumb move, Dan.
Would you have even picked him up? Out of all the running back options, would he have been on the top of your list for Houston's run game?
Wouldn't have started him.
Oh, goodness. Okay, regardless, he picked up Zach Moss, which I think, in my opinion, is an equally bad move.
Oh, yeah? Yes.
Zach Moss is a 2.4, 2.5 yards per carry career averager.
Yeah.
That is trash. Okay? Rojo is above that, and Rojo ain't even playing anymore.
Rojo. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's a good pickup. That's good sabotage in a game, in a playoff game. I love those storylines. Andrew was proud of himself once he did that Jerick McKinnon trade, and we talked shit about the Zach Moss waiver wire. I'm on the chase for the Hurts, the first seed. I had to drop Josh Palmer, my handcuff wide receiver. Might be inventing the wheel on that one, Joe. Have you ever heard of a handcuff wide receiver before?
I mean, yeah. Depends on the setting, I guess.
Am I boring you?
No, I was just trying to look up Keyshawn Vaughn's name. His name spelled.
Oh, Keyshawn. Keyshawn's got 3 yards per carry career, bro. Don't talk shit about Keyshawn.
Now we're past that segment, so now it doesn't matter. But I really needed to know the player that was trying to get. It would be like picking up Keyshawn Vaughn.
Keyshawn Vaughn would have been where Giovanni Bernard was on that big punt. That would have been a first down. Clay, I am the first seed. I went ahead and dropped my handcuff wide receiver, Josh Palmer. And who did I add, Joe? Who did I add out of necessity? Captain Kirk Cousins. Debating.
Oh, Captain Kurt.
Yeah, Captain Kirk Cousins. I was really debating here between Gardner Minshew, Joe. So I think I made the right choice. I did the safer choice, the safer floor. So I don't know. You're not showing up on mine. So if you're still here,
I had to blow my nose. Did you want that on the recording? Why don't you just let the stuff go?
I'm very curious. Can you
just
give me a
let the
warning
stuff
though
go.
next time? Can you just give me a warning?
Let it go. Know that it's for a good reason.
Okay. So I had a Captain Kirk Cousins. I was really debating against Gardner Minshew here. Do you think I made?
No, Kurt plays at 1:00 on Saturday.
Do you think I made a good choice?
Yes.
Can you elaborate? I need to be reassured here, okay? Because I am still not sure myself, in case that's not evident.
There's only one mustache that's relevant in this conversation. That's yours.
Thanks, Dr. Strange. Moving on, we have the consolation bracket. We are not going to get in depth into these matchups, ladies and gentlemen, because quite frankly, they just do not matter. Other than who is either going to get the last or the first seed, depending on what the champion wants out of those two. So, therefore, we will be speeding through this. We have the number 5 seed Boner Pills going against the Dirty Randys. John barely missed the playoffs. Missed it by 70 points. That's rough. And John, by the way, that group chat, you had me cracking up. You do every time, and I wanted you in the playoffs so badly, sir. So badly. We don't want to see Daniel in here starting Zach Moss.
Yo, that is the okay. Continue.
So, anyways, 8-7, and then we have him going against the worst team in the league, who finished the season on a win, Joe. 4-11. He actually tied the record. Mahendra had more points than him. But Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of blocked out. I saw Kirk Cousins' name again, and I just had these numbers going through my head I've had all day. So I'm sorry. Every time I glance at Kirk Cousins, it takes my mind off the situation and thinking I might be doing something wrong here. Jared Goff might be a good start.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I like how your eyes go to the left. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
No, my eyes went to the right. You thought they went to the left. My eyes went to the right.
Where are my eyes pointing to right now? Where are my eyes pointing to right now?
To my left.
Yeah, that was my right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm going to look at that matchup. We'll talk a little bit more about that because they both have interesting matchups.
Who? Dirty Randy's and John?
No, Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins.
Go ahead. No.
I'm
more about that than Mason and John.
No. I'm going to do a little bit more research before I come to you specifically and talk about the pros and cons of each of them, because losing your Hall of Fame caliber fantasy football weapon, and I mean Hall of Fame as in fantasy football Hall of Fame caliber weapon.
Unicorn.
Whenever you can get a running back in the quarterback slot who also throws passes to talented people who catch the ball, like you just Hall of Fame caliber fantasy football player.
You saved. I thought you were going to say who. When you have a Hall of Fame running back who just so happens to throw passes, which I thought that's where you're going to, but no, you're absolutely right, Joe. You're absolutely correct. He is having an MVP type level season. No, don't give him the Carson Wentz treatment, okay? He has been the man all year. He's my MVP vote. I'm an AP voter, Joe. I'm going to be through this show if you two can make that happen. And what do they need to do to make that happen, Joe?
Ooh, like, subscribe, and subscribe. If you're just listening, my fingers are pointing down, right down here. You got the like button. You got the subscribe button.
Not right.
Oh, they're on the top.
Boom. Love you, Joe. Thank you so much for that. Who do you have in this matchup here?
As much as I hate a person who hate's a strong word. As much as I would love to go against a person whose biggest burn is calling someone a dick cock dicker, I'm gonna go with John.
Quote unquote. Thank you. Also, he frequently uses lesbian as a derogatory term, and I do appreciate that. That is actually pretty derogatory.
Yeah.
So you got John. I too have John. I think, in the losers consolation bracket, I don't think there's too many upsets because, quite frankly, I think a lot of guys just don't care at that point. So I'm going to go with the low-hanging fruit here. Go with John, who I think still cares because he doesn't want to be last after winning a championship. You like that? Right? No?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Sure. Moving on.
If you don't like that, Joe, you may like this this next matchup.
Shot.
Oh, he wants a shot.
Shot to the number 5.
I should have just broke this one down. This is my America's fantasy football game of the century of the week, James.
This is. If you don't know me, those who are liking and subscribing, I still, at 29 years old, don't know if I'm the dumbest smart guy or the smartest dumb guy. We're not sure, but I missed the playoffs by this much. That's a see you next Tuesday here. This much every single year. It's terrible.
And for the audience watching, I think it's the latter of that question. Yeah, you had to think about it. So we have, of course, as always, the number 6 seed against. He's number 6 seed, but he's number 1 in everybody's hearts. Joe Lozier, allergic to playoffs. It's in his name, ladies and gentlemen. At one point, this man was the same as me at 6-4, if I'm not mistaken, or 6-5, 6-4, or 6-5 at one point, and just couldn't close it out. And I'm sorry for it, Joe. You finished 7-8. You are going against another disappointing team in Jackson Mahendra. Another disappointing year. This will be back-to-back years of him picking in the top 4. This season 11, I believe this point, he did have a beautiful April, so time has been taken up by that. We understand that, and we know we are going to come back strong next year. And you were strong by this year. Joe, with that being said, you want my prediction first, or should we get your prediction? Because I left this blank purposely on the script.
Your screen is frozen, and your words were jumbled and then fast forwarded. I didn't catch any of it, but I'm sorry, Mahendra, you're going down. I'm going to win this game. And then I'm going to beat John, and it's not going to matter because we're all getting a top 4 pick. Except for probably Mason, who's going to get the number 8 pick. No, probably the number 1 pick. I don't know. We'll see what Clay picks.
Joe, you know what's funny? You're going to be in the bottom 4 again. Jonathan Taylor might be available. Will you pick him up?
Oh, my God. Dude, what a... Why
you sabotage yourself. Your first two picks were Jonathan Taylor and Jonathan Taylor and Mark Andrews. If your first 2 picks was Kelsey, your season would be in the playoffs right now, bro.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just your first 2 picks, they were both missed. I mean, Mark Andrews isn't a misfire, but who you picked, like, you picked him over, buddy. Yeah, you picked him over a league winner.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I got producers new. Do we got any injuries going on out there? We good? Nope, 0 injuries. Awesome, outstanding. So,
all right, I got me. Who you got, Clay? Because let's get to the juicy stuff.
Joe, you're absolutely right. We're halfway through the show. We got to get going here. Clay, Joe, I got Joe. It's just simple.
Let's go.
I got Joe.
This has to be like one of the first 4. You might have picked me like 4 times this year. 15 weeks.
Can you blame me? I'm pretty sure when I picked you, you won too.
Let's go.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the actual matchups, the ones you want to hear about, the intel you want to know. Joe, I hope you did your research. This is brought to you by our official sponsor, Fireballs. We are going to break this down by our Saturday and Sunday games, which, speaking of Saturday, the Fantasy Messiahs, the ACC champion, going against Vice President of Fantasy Football Operations, Andrew Gennard, the 3rd seed, who should have been 2nd seed, by the way. The record discrepancy between these two is a win. Daniel's 8-7 and Andrew's 9-6. This is the 3B Bowl, Joe. And the reason I call it the 3B Bowl is it's the Blood Brother Bowl. These are biological.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and Joe have a rivalry. Florida State's got a rivalry. That's between SEC and ACC. Well, this is like Michigan and Ohio State. This is the same league, same blood, same roots, hating each other. The last between these 2 teams. In week 5, Fantasy Messiah scored the highest point total of the week at 175 to defeat Andrew at 143. In week 12, however, Hillier Hole came back to win 157 to 147. The series is split, Joe. That's pretty even going into it.
Not after this weekend.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, normally we get into mage factors, one thought to start, and storylines. However, for the playoffs, we want to break down what the lineups are as of today. This could be subject to change. But as of today, we're going to go through the lineups step by step, and we're going to say who we have that is better. You like that, Joe?
I really like it. I just wish that we could elaborate more, but timing-wise, we might just have to fly through our guesses.
We're going to be quick about it, okay?
Yeah.
So, fantasy, we're going to start right off. Starting for Fantasy Messiahs at the quarterback position, we got Justin Fields. Andrew, on the other hand, has Justin Fields against Buffalo versus Buffalo. So, at home versus Buffalo. We also have Joe Burrow against New England. Joe, out of this matchup here, who do you think is the winner?
Joe Burrow.
Who's having more fun? You know,
you
Joe, honestly, I like that. I think I know where your head's at. That's a safe floor. That's an easy 18 to 20 points, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing double checks there. We go to the running backs, Joe Lozier. We have Nick Chubb versus New Orleans in Cleveland and snowy conditions. Mind you, there is the worst snowstorm of the year is going through. The worst Arctic blast of the year is going through the Northern Hemisphere. So mind you in all this, while I say these running backs, Daniel is going Nick Chubb versus New Orleans and David Montgomery versus Buffalo. Both in wintry conditions. Andrew has Austin Eckler at Indianapolis, Monday night game. So this game will not be decided on Sunday. It will be decided on Monday night. We also have at Pittsburgh. Joe, out of
who at Pittsburgh? You cut out. Who at Pittsburgh?
Josh Jacobs at Pitt.
Oh, I'm taking Eckler and Jacobs. Although I understand your take in the snowy conditions, bad weather, it's going to lead to running game. But Eckler's safe.
That's it. It's hard to rush for 100 yards in a snow game because they know you can't pass.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Win, so you can fight the run.
Yep.
You
True.
know, it's that way.
True. Especially since, Dan is starting a quarterback who isn't a quarterback, he's a running back.
Who I am deeply upset. I thought so much about picking him up just to have, and then that would have paid off huge in this time and day.
You know how many fantasy leagues are cringing? How many fantasy managers worldwide are cringing that they did not pick up Justin Fields this year? Because they didn't draft him.
I drafted Trey Lance as a backup to Jalen Hurts. So who am I to talk? I could have done Fields. In my fairness, though, Jalen Hurts is so good, I did not need a handcuff.
Wide receivers, who we got?
Thank you, Joe. Keeping this train on track. We got Chris Godwin at Arizona. The poor Bucs players have to spend Christmas Eve in Phoenix. Nobody wants to spend any day in Phoenix. We also have Jalen Waddle against Green Bay at home in Miami.
Yeah, that could be.
On the opposing side, Tyreek Hill versus Green Bay to oppose the Jalen Waddle. Incredible. Pittman versus the LA Chargers. Another Monday Night Football game. Jump these matchups. Who you got?
You broke up again with the fourth. After Tyreek Hill and
Michael Pittman versus the LA Chargers.
Jesus. Michael Pittman.
On Monday Night Football.
Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman Jr. He hasn't earned the title Michael Pittman. They keep leaving off the junior part of that, and it irks me.
Who's got Waddle? Excuse me?
Daniel and Godwin.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going Daniel wide receivers. So here's my deal. Jair Alexander is going to be all over Tyreek Hill. And by all over, I mean how much can you really be all over Tyreek Hill realistically? But Jair will have his hands full with Tyreek, which is going to leave Waddle mid, a little short, a little mid, and Waddle might have a real good game. And then Chris Godwin, we're a half PPR. Chris Godwin is just going to dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk.
I think he is also touchdown dependent, but you're right. He will have 80 yards on 6 catches. You're absolutely correct about that.
The first half of the Bucs game last week showed other defensive coordinators Mike Evans is actually still relevant. 118 yards away from 1,000 yards.
Absolutely. Mike Evans will save that for the Buccaneer podcast. For the tight ends, we have, get this in a shock twist, Daniel is choosing to start at this point in time, Gerald Everett for the Los Angeles Chargers against the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football over TJ Hawkinson. Joe, do you agree with this? Oh, no, actually, I can't elaborate further. I understand. And Andrew's got Evan Ingram on Thursday Night Football. Joe, out of these two tight ends, who do you have?
Evan Ingram.
God damn, dude. I don't. I'm going to go Joel Everett against Indianapolis.
Okay.
I love Evan Ingram. I do like Evan Ingram. I am afraid of the Jets defense. Indianapolis defense, Shaq Leonard, Darius Leonard, whatever his name was, now known as Shaq Leonard, whatever it is. I can't keep up with the man who's changing
I don't know,
names.
man. We're too late. Like, we're a little in the game. Maybe Evan's gone off. Oh, shit. The score is 24-27 in the second quarter. No, I'm just kidding. 3-3.
He's so ridiculous. He does that every time, and he acts like we
Imagine
fall
that.
for it, and we never do it. So regardless, we got that. In the flex, Joe Lozier, we have Raheem Mostert against Green Bay versus Green Bay against Saquon Barkley. Minnesota.
Yo.
I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going Mostert. I'm going Mostert.
I'm going Saquon. Evan's got Trevor Lawrence has 5 complete passes. Evan Ingram has 3 of them for 41 yards.
I told you, bro. If I would have been Andrew, that would be my piece now. And then we have the kickers. We're going to go kickers real quick. Nick Folk versus Cincy at home in New England versus Brett Maher in a dome at home versus Philly. Who you got? Brett Maher, dome.
Lock me down for Maher. Maher Chevrolet. If you're in the area, you know that one.
Come on and buy here. You know that, Joe.
If you're in the area, you know about that Maher Chevrolet.
You want me to do the cars for kids?
No, I want you to go to the next matchup.
Everybody's name?
No, I'm gonna say Andrew's still gonna win. What's your prediction?
Who do you got?
I just said Andrew.
Andrew? I got Andrew in this one.
Oh,
I'll tell you why, dude, because Destiny is drawing this season. And it is no fault to me or Andrew, but this is how it's going to be. I got Andrew. We're both in on this right here. Which leads us to the Sunday game, Joe. We're going to do a shot. We're still in time. We still got
Stop. You're frozen and you sound like a robot. I have no idea what you're saying. Let's just stop.
Yeah, I've been stopped for the past 30 seconds, so please let's not do this on here, and we're going to pass. We're good now. We're moving on to the 4 o'clock game. 30 seconds.
Let's do it.
And it's going to be the number 4 seed, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, going head-to-head 1 seed, and SEC champion Clay Major.
Is this not America's?
There's no America's Fantasy Football Game of the Week in the playoffs, buddy, because this is the playoffs. Both the playoff games are prestigious enough. The fact that you make the playoffs is, in its own self, a right and a respect.
I apologize. I recant. Continue, please.
Thank you. And plus, I did make America's Fantasy Football Game of the Week of the Century game, and it was your game. Inflation bracket. Here we go, baby. The last matchups. Week 3, Clay won 42-79, 64-61. Which point in time, Joe, I sent some of the most devastating gifts and memes to Tuna. I sent a meme with Maury reading off that Clay, in the case of Tuna, is the father. That's how bad it was. Tuna, a gift of Aaron Rodgers going, I own you to the Chicago crowd, and telling him I own him. In week 10, Tuna beat me 152-105. This series is even. After that, I have won 5 games in a row. I have not been defeated since then.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's scary.
I'm looking at this matchup from your notes. Oh, my God. Tuna's going to get murdered.
Oh, don't say that. You're getting me hyped up. That's not true. That's not true. I am so worried. I have such a pit in my stomach this week. Jalen Hurts is gone. You think that, Joe? We're going to get into this. I cannot wait to get into this.
He's starting Darren Waller. He's
The
starting
Walrus. That's what I'm scared about. The Walrus. Okay. Quarterbacks. He has Patrick Mahomes versus Seattle. I have Kirk Cousins, emergency injury replacement, going against the New York Giants at home in a dome. Joe, who do you got in this matchup?
Mahomes.
I can't blame you. I too have Mahomes. Because if I'm trying to be confident, if I had Jalen Hurts starting, I would just be more than confident. I would chalk this up as a win. However, I'm probably frozen, so I'm not going to talk. Because I'm probably frozen. Me or Joe's frozen. I'm just going to talk. I may not be talking. I'm going to say it. Are you back? Let me know when you're back.
Let's roll.
When I'm back, am I back? Let's do it. Patrick Mahomes, better quarterback. I would be just as confident if I had Jalen Hurts. However, I do not, so we're going Patrick Mahomes in this matchup. The running backs, Joe Lozier. We have A.A. Jones, Tuna, A.A. Jones against Miami, and Isaiah Pacheco versus Seattle. However, you have King Henry on my team versus who, Joe? Death, taxes, and King Henry runs for 200 yards on the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars every season. Thank you.
I was actually going to say that even though Seattle's run defense is terrible, I was going to project, hot take, Derrick Henry more rushing yards than Isaiah Pacheco and Aaron Jones combined. Hot take. But Jacksonville still wins the game tonight.
Oh, that's beautiful. My other running back, though, Joe, which you may not, I would love to hear your thoughts on. J.K. Dobbins at Atlanta. Or no, versus Atlanta. Is this where I'm going?
Anybody, where'd I go? Anybody, where'd I go? Am I there?
I'm still here. I can hear you.
Am I there?
I can't see you.
Anybody,
I don't know if I'm frozen, though. I might be frozen now.
No, you're good. My face is not here. You can hear me?
I can hear you at least.
Anybody against Atlanta, you know.
I made the right call, dude. Thank you for reinforcing that. I love that. So, Joe, who do you got in the running back matchup?
You, easy, money.
Joe, I too have myself. I'm going out on a limb here starting J.K. Dobbins, but do you know who drafted J.K. Dobbins, Joe Lozier?
You?
Tuna.
Oh.
So it's a little bit of a revenge game.
Don't make it emotional. You're the worst.
Woo! I do that a lot. Don't you love it, Joe? It comes back to bite people. Boy, Mason wish he had James Conner. Wide receivers. Tuna is starting Devontae Adams against Pittsburgh and Justin Jefferson versus New York Giants. I have Kirk Cousins, so that's going to be pivotal. I have Jamar Chase against New England, and I have Amon the Raw St. Brown, the Sun God, against Carolina. Joe, who's your pick here?
Man, I think honestly, yeah. And I hope that you accept this. It's a draw. Because both have incredible matchups, I think it's gonna be so close with both of those all four of those wide receivers.
This is 4 top 10 wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
4 top receivers that we have going against each other. And Joe, I have to agree with you. That's gonna be a draw times 2 for me. I might be leaning towards Tuna a little bit. If we have more time, we can elaborate on that. I might be leaning more towards him. But production doesn't lie. Kitty, you don't be talking like that. So, Joe, I have the Walrus.
Yeah, the Walrus.
Versus Travis Kelce, Zeus, the Greek god.
Yeah.
The number 1 tight end. Who will be the number 5 wide receiver.
We can skip.
Who do you got?
We can jump straight. You got this matchup.
We got the flex. Joe, I swear to God, if this flex comes back to bite me, I will throw DeAndre Swift in Tuna's flex. He's doing it on purpose. Against Carolina, I have Najee Harris in my flex at Las Vegas because I'm not trusting
Who you
Kenneth
got
Walker.
for free?
Not true.
You gave up a 2-day-old waiver wire pick for.
Who won me a game? I don't won with him. 1-1 without him.
Ridiculous.
Is it pinky up, Joe?
Pinky up. Fancy fuck.
You're absolutely right. So
Can't
who
say
do you
that
got
on the
here?
radio. We're not on the radio.
You got Harris. Or am I putting words in your mouth? Do you have your former player who you drafted very highly? I think DeAndre Swift might have been your third or fourth pick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Was DeAndre Swift your third pick?
Yo, but he's going. No, not my third. Not my third. He wasn't my third.
I'm going to have to do some research, ladies and gentlemen. If DeAndre Swift was your third pick, his first 3 picks in the draft were blown. He blew it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's true, Joe. I give you more credit than I ever could have
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. It was AJ Brown. Swift was
and then fourth. And Swift was fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you AJ.
Okay.
That's somebody bargaining, by the way. So, who do you got, Joe? Not DeAndre Swift.
Look at this team. Yeah, but he's going against Carolina.
Good defense, Carolina.
What?
It held the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to 3 points.
Vegas. Najee's gonna run all over. It's gonna be the Najee and what's the other guy? The guy, he's like the big guy. He like runs over all the people.
Jerome Bettis. No, listen. Worst case, if Najee Harris gets 50 yards rushing, he's definitely getting a touchdown in that game. Are you kidding me? Tell me he's not getting a touchdown in that game.
He's not Jerome Bettis.
Joe, finally, we're 7 minutes late. This is the longest show we've ever done since we've done the 30-minute format because it's the playoff specialty show. He has Harrison Butker going against Seattle. I have Darryl Carlson at Pittsburgh. Who do you got there?
Oh, God.
I'm going Daniel Carlson because Harrison Butker hasn't made shit since he came back.
He's been missing way too many kicks. What are we doing? Daniel Carlson all day. Count me in.
Bingo. Then we have defense, Joe, and this is a tough one. Niners against the Washington. I have Eagles D against Dallas, and you're going the Niners.
Yeah, going Niners.
I'm going Eagles D. The Cowboys suck. They had a pick 6 last week. Look what the Jaguars did to them last week, and they put up 30 points. So don't tell me that they can't be scoring. I'm going the Eagles. You know what, Joe? I'm not, bro. I got this. It's me all day. I'm going to the championship. It's me and Andrew. And everybody's going crazy. It is destiny. It is me and Andrew in the championship. According to Clay, there is no doubt about it. Woo! Who do you have, baby?
You didn't set me up. Didn't set me up for that.
I couldn't win. I couldn't hold it.
I just want to thank, before we get going here, before we send the outro out, I just want to thank our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. I want to thank all of you for listening. And I know if you're listening after 30 plus minutes, I just want you to like and subscribe. Like, subscribe down here. Because this man's entertaining.
It just takes one click.
As unentertaining as it is to listen to our fantasy football league, this man right here, not me, that man over there, that man's entertaining. So like and subscribe. Cheers to our unofficial sponsor, hopefully one day official sponsor, in Clay's sake, Fireball. I love kissing the devil.
Joe, who do you have essentially sealing the championship game? You have Andrew as one participant. Who's going to be the final?
I'm on the chase for Clay's first championship. Clay's got it.
Yes! 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 Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I am so pumped. Joe is just confirming my beliefs and my confidence going right now. That's okay. Any other year, take Jalen Hurts away from me. Take my main weapon away from me, and I'd be freaking the fuck out. But not this year. My roster is so valid. I just have what it takes. What I need. I play a little bit now. I don't know, but
Stop.
yeah, no.
I have no idea what's
We're gonna end this here because my internet's kind of lagging out right now. No, my internet's lagging out horribly. So we're gonna end this here, dude. I love you. Thank you for joining me tonight. And that's gonna be our show. Let's get some Christmas music to get out of here. But even on my end, I can see that. So don't worry about it. Handled that well. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. And then Andrew. I think that's gonna be the show. No Christmas music. Don't want to deal with that. Love